คุณผู้ชมคะตีข่าวเล่าใหญ่วันนี้ต้องบอกว่าเป็นเทปที่พิเศษมากจริงๆค่ะเพราะว่าเทปนี้นะคะเราได้ผู้หญิงที่สวยที่สุดในจักรวาลมาอยู่ในสตูดิโอกับเราถึง2ท่านซึ่งความพิเศษแบบนี้พลอยคงจะสัมภาษณ์คนเดียวไม่ไหวนะคะเพราะว่ามันหนักหน่วงไปด้วยความสวยงามเต็มสตูดิโอไปหมดนะคะพลอยก็เลยต้องมีพิธีกรมาร่วมเพื่อให้บรรยากาศการสัมภาษณ์วันนี้สนุกสนานมากยิ่งขึ้นนะคะ So first of all I would like to welcome all of you to JKN Empire, and today is special day as we have Mr. Nico Locco to be a co-host with me for a special interview. And right in front of us are two beautiful ladies. It's very honored to have two most beautiful women in the universe here with us in the studio. So please welcome Miss Natalie Glebova, Miss Universe 2005, and Miss Catriona Gray, Miss Universe 2018.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
Good afternoon, ladies. How's it going?
Great, thank you.
Now, you guys both won Miss Universe, Natalie in 2005, Catriona in 2018, both in Thailand, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Thai soil.
Thai soil, yeah. And you've been living in Thailand ever since, Natalie?
Never left. I never left.
What made you stay for so long?
Well, in fact, I did leave to spend the year in New York City, of course, to live in Trump apartments back in the day.
Yes,
that's when it was owned by Donald Trump. And that's where we all live, in New York City, after we win.
Yes.
And
that's right.
During that year, I had spent quite a lot of time coming back to Thailand to do a lot of events, appearances, charity work. I think I went back 5 times, in my year at Miss Universe. And in that time, I had made a lot of great contacts and made a lot of good friends. So I thought, why not? Maybe there could be some kind of interesting opportunity to come and experience living in Thailand for 1 year, and I got a contract at that time with Sing, you know, Sing company.
Okay.
Thai beer.
Thai beer and beverage company.
Thai beer and
Sing
beverage.
is Thai beer, yes.
Yes, and they offered me a contract for a year, and I thought, why not take this opportunity to experience what it's like to live in another continent, in another country, and I fell in love with Thailand from the first moment I was here. And so that 1 year turned into 17 years.
17 years.
Still here.
And here we are.
Still here.
What makes you impress Thailand that much?
It's everything. I've traveled around the world, and I never really been to a country quite like Thailand before. It's a combination of so many things: the culture, the beautiful beaches and nature.
The people.
The people, of course, and the food. I love the warm weather as compared to Canada, which I did not appreciate living in
Very
Canada.
cold, yes.
Cold.
I know that for first-hand experience.
Right. Fellow Canadian here.
Exactly. Do you speak any Thai?
I do. พูดภาษาไทยได้นิดหน่อยนะคะ
And you said you are Thai already, right?
Natalie เป็นคนไทยใช่ค่ะ
Now, Kat, you won in 2018 here in Thailand. Is this your first time back since then?
No, it's actually my second time. So back in 2019, as a reigning Miss Universe, I got to come back to Thailand, which was very exciting to sit as a judge for the Miss Universe Thailand of 2019.
Okay, and how do you find Thai culture?
I love it. Coming from the Philippines, I guess I'm very accustomed to that culture that really values community. When people come together, it's always sharing meals with each other. It's always that warmness, that togetherness. So coming to Thailand, it's not a very different feeling.
Very similar, actually.
It's
You're
very similar. And so I feel so at home here in a funny way. Even though I don't understand necessarily the language, I've always been treated with such kindness by the Thai people. And I actually lived here for a couple of months back when I was 19 years old. And it was that same kindness that I experienced as in the competition, as a reigning Miss Universe. So I have nothing but good things to say about Thai people in Thailand.
Well, I'm sure Thailand would love to have you back.
Oh, I'm so happy to come back whenever.
And do you know that you have Thai name that Thai fans gave it to you?
Yes, I know one of them is Nyong Meow.
Nyong Meow. Her name is Cat.
I like that.
In Thai is Meow.
It's got a nice ring to it.
Nyong Meow. So when I see the fans, they're like, Nyong Meow.
It's kind of a cat.
And how do you feel, and do you have any opinion about your fans love you so much and love your style, and they remember what you dress when you were crowned and how your hairstyle on that day? And if anyone dressed like her or doing some hairstyle like her, they would call them a copycat. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, it's very flattering. I always see people celebrating my win, whatever it represented it for them. So if they're a fellow Filipino, they found a lot of pride in it. Or maybe they just love the moment on the Miss Universe stage that they want to recreate that for themselves. I've never felt any other negative feelings in terms of having people replicate things that I've done. It's very flattering.
Yes.
I get really, there's a Tagalog expression or Filipino expression, kilig, which means I'm very flattered.
Yes.
Kilig mean?
It means like butterflies.
Yeah, it's like it's a nice feeling. I get very flattered when I see people doing it, recreating the lava walk, even the slow-mo turn.
Yeah.
Like it gives me a lot of joy. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, talk about slow-mo turn. It's something like memorable for your fan, and it's your signature posture. Do you think that the new delegates in the new era of Miss Universe should have a signature posture like you?
I think so. I mean, like, it's something that makes you stand out and makes you memorable. And it's also maybe a nice addition to your storytelling, because I've always believed this platform of Miss Universe or of a pageant allows a woman to speak. And there's such power in our stories. And whatever you use to tell your stories, whether it be, you know, your walk or your backstory or your videos or your social media, whatever tools you use, it's always an opportunity to invite someone in. So a signature pose is just like that also. It makes you stand out from the rest.
Yes.
That's right.
Hopefully the judges notice that, but even if the fans do also, it's something that makes them remember you.
It's about building a personal brand, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually,
Slow-mo
Ploy,
turn.
I was going to say I'm based in the Philippines as well, and all of my friends actually know Catriona's signature pose. They're always doing it in videos and everything.
Yes.
So, and they always say I'm doing the Catriona. So this is actually a thing in the Philippines.
And also lava walk, right?
Yes.
Yep. Now, Natalie, you mentioned you've been here for 17 years already. Are there some tourist spots that you can recommend to our viewers?
Absolutely. I'm actually a bit of an ambassador, a travel ambassador here in Thailand with my husband and with my family. We have a YouTube channel called Travel Book Family. And I have worked extensively with TAT, the Tourism Authority of Thailand.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm all about recommending great spots to people from outside of Thailand. And I always tell them, come to the beautiful Phuket province where we live. And just a short boat ride away, we've got, of course, the gorgeous Phi Phi Islands.
Yeah.
And there's so many incredible places, of course, in the north of Thailand, like Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai.
Okay.
And then there's the Isan region, like Kanchanaburi.
Wow.
And places, places
true
like
Thai
that.
people.
Ubon Ratchathani.
Yes.
Gorgeous, gorgeous places. So I can talk hours about Thailand. And in
We should have
fact,
another segment for that.
Yes, travel the
For
Natalie.
Natalie traveling all over Thailand.
Yes.
I think you could spend a month or 2 months in Thailand and still not see everything.
Yeah, and her daughter names come from one of the most spectacular places in Thailand.
That's it.
That's
it. It's Maya Bay. I don't know if anybody has heard of it. Have you guys heard of it? Maybe you've seen the legendary movie The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
Yes.
So that movie was shot on Maya Bay.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And
wow.
my husband and I share a very nice memory of it before our daughter was born, when we went there and we went paddleboarding and snorkeling in Maya Bay. And I just had this vision in my head that I love this name, Maya. If we ever have a daughter, let's call her Maya.
Yeah.
So done. And then, of course, when we found out we're having a girl, the name was already
Done
there.
deal.
Yeah.
And how about if you got a boy?
Mayo.
Yeah, there you go. Put an O on it.
Clever.
Let's talk about Miss Universe now, because this is Talk with Miss Universe. At the moment, it is the era of Kun An Jakapong management,
Yes.
JKN Global Group, now owning Miss Universe. How do you guys feel about that? I know you guys have gotten to know Kun An over the last couple days, especially yesterday. How do you feel about her in charge now? Let's start with Kat.
Well, I think it's a great step in the right direction. We're all about women empowerment at Miss Universe, and what better than to be under a leader who is also a woman, but is also wildly successful in her own fields.
Yeah.
I think it sets a great example, and I'm also very excited, alongside the other pageant fans, of what Miss Universe will be like in the years to come.
Certainly. And we saw yesterday in the presentation at the gala dinner, one line, made by women for women.
That was powerful.
It's very powerful, because we are moving into the new era of inclusivity, more tolerance, diversity.
Yes.
And to have a woman owner who's also a member of the LGBTQ community who better than her
Yeah.
to drive us into this new era?
What a great representation.
That's
Yes, but nowadays the competition is perceived as a beauty privilege, as many people complain about it. What do you want to tell them about this?
Well, I think that in general, beauty is something that we all decide for ourselves what is
Yes.
beautiful. So if a woman believes that she's beautiful, she can enter a competition and there are no restrictions as far as I know. There's no height restrictions, there's no
Yes.
weight restrictions. Now even transgender women can compete.
Yeah.
Now even married women
Yeah.
can
Divorce,
compete.
yes.
So who is better to decide if she wants to showcase herself, her beauty, her talents, her
Yes.
physique, than the woman herself? And isn't that very empowering
Yes.
to have that choice and have that decision?
Yes.
So I think that there's absolutely nothing wrong with showcasing beauty because women should be celebrated for their beauty.
Exactly.
We are beautiful, all of us. All women are beautiful.
Of course.
I almost think privilege is the wrong term.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's,
think so too.
It-
And to those people who would say that, like, it's in a way understandable, the perception, because it's a very surface perception of what we do.
That's
So
right.
I would encourage those people, invite them in, see the work that a title holder does, see the work that these candidates who represent their countries
Definitely.
do.
Yeah.
They're not there doing a modeling competition every
That's
day.
right.
They're making speeches, they're creating movements, they're getting women together to do great things.
Definitely, yeah.
So
And I think
they're
the fans-
developing themselves too. Sorry to interrupt,
No, go
but
for it.
just to add on to what you're saying, Kat, they're developing themselves, and I see no better platform than Miss Universe or a pageant of that caliber to develop yourself on every level.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally,
Yes.
spiritually, emotionally, build your confidence, become a better speaker, become more refined. And isn't that empowering?
That is, and I don't think the fans see that, right? They see you guys on TV, they see the Miss Universe competition,
Yeah.
and that's all. They don't see the behind-the-scenes stuff, all the
Through the
struggle.
social media now, they see that.
Well, that's true. The power of social media does help publicize your guys' journey leading up into the competition, right?
That's right.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah. So how do you feel when you get into the final round and you get your final question and you have only 30 seconds, right, to answer? I'll start with Natalie
Okay.
first. Yeah.
I think a lot of it has to do with just running on that adrenaline and that autopilot that you have prepared yourself to be. And if you've prepared well,
Yes.
that autopilot will be good.
Yeah.
But if you haven't, you never know. That's why preparation is super, super important, right? Learning all of your facts, learning the
course.
history, learning
Yes.
the phrases, remembering some quotes that you want to say, like your life philosophy or something that you've prepared, like your own little soundbite.
Yes.
But in general, I think it's just a matter of being in the present moment and letting your heart speak. Because
Wow.
when you are in the present
powerful.
moment, you will speak the right words. Because all of that information, all the wisdom and knowledge is already within you. You just need to let it out.
It's crazy. There's millions and millions of people watching you all, and you have 30 seconds to perform
Yeah.
and answer this question.
I think
don't
even
know how you guys do it.
politicians, they can't answer that question.
It's
Some
true.
of the world's most toughest issues, give that question to a politician, they won't be able to answer it in 30 seconds. And yet here we are as beauty queens, and we're expected to answer it
Yeah.
and solve the problem.
Exactly.
And you have to keep calm.
keep calm
Yeah.
and have no awkward pauses. How about you, Kat? What's your preparation as well as what are your feelings right before the moment?
Honestly, hard to describe the feelings before the moment because it's almost an out-of-body experience,
Yes.
right? Because like you're trying to be present, so much happening around you, once in a lifetime experience and opportunity. But building off of what Natalie has said, I've always believed that the preparation of going to the competition is to really get to know yourself, why you're there, what your purpose is in being there. It could be wanting to further yourself for your own development, or maybe make your family
Yes.
proud,
Yes.
provide for your family. Or maybe you want to make your country proud. Maybe you have an aspiration
Of
that you want to
course.
go for.
Yeah.
So always being in tune to that. So it gives you that anchor of like, why am I here? For me personally, it was always about the platform that Miss Universe could give to my charity work, because I've always wanted to steward a big platform for something other than myself.
Amazing.
That's why I'm super passionate about the causes that I do. And so when I got the opportunity to speak in front of the crowd of Miss Universe, I wanted to speak about what I know and what's true to me.
Yeah.
Because like Natalie said, we are thrown questions
Yeah.
from left and right
That's right.
field. We don't know what questions are coming to us, but I've always believed if you stay true to yourself, you speak about what you know, not trying to sound smart or sound particularly a certain way, just you speaking your truth, then that's as authentic, that's as
Of course.
close to serving yourself as you're going to get in that moment.
Wow.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
Ploy, I don't know if you saw Catriona's answer in 2018.
Yes.
It was fantastic. I actually
you.
got chills from watching it. And you did mention your charity in
Yes.
your 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, and I dedicated my whole year and my year since to my charity work. So it's really just a common thread that's run through. And it doesn't have to look the same for every queen. It doesn't have to look the same for every winner. Even a representative can also do that same purpose and whatever it may look like for them. As long as there's that core anchor holding them to why are they here?
The
Why are
reason
they
you're
doing
doing
it?
it.
Right, the reason and knowing yourself, like you said, the
Exactly.
more you know yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to answer any question because you have thought about it. You have thought, what is your why? Who is your
You
audience?
have an opinion about
Right,
it.
what are your opinions on certain issues? That's all knowing yourself
Yeah.
and then just speaking what you already know.
And I always wonder why the Miss Universe that just were announced that they were crowned can walk and wave and smile to people like they know before that they're gonna get crowned. You know that?
Well, you gotta do that, right? I mean, that's
You're practically
confidence.
on autopilot as well at that moment.
True.
If I can
And you-
speak for myself, when
Yeah.
I was out there, I was like,
Can you remember that feeling? Both
no,
of you?
I was out of my body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To be
I
honest,
can't
it's
remember.
just it's so over because your life
happens fast.
changes in an instant.
Yeah.
Like in an instant. And the whirlwind that happens after that moment just it changes your life forever. It's changed both of our lives forever.
Absolutely, and it's very emotional. And I think when we're so emotional in the moment, it doesn't register in the brain because
Yes.
we're using that emotional part of the brain. And so whenever afterwards I watched my win, everything that I remembered was only from what I saw on TV.
Right?
Not
It's almost like you blacked out, blacked out
Because
for
we
2
can't
hours.
remember emotions. We transfer our emotions to the logical part of our brain,
Yeah.
and
Not
then
from
the
yourself.
emotions are no
Yeah.
longer there.
It's literally the definition of an out-of-body experience.
Absolutely. The only time that it sank in for me, I saw my parents walk onto the stage for
Me
pictures
too.
after, and my mom had tears in her eyes, and I was like,
You
oh
remembered
my
the
God,
tears.
I just
Yes.
won. Like
Yes.
it wasn't the crown, it wasn't the walk and the wave,
Yes.
it was my parents.
That's it. When I saw my
so
parents
cute.
too at the bottom of the stage, and I saw the big smile of my dad, and he was waving to me, I said, "Yes, this is it. Now I know I won."
Right? It's crazy.
Amazing. Now, health and wellness is such an important part of what you guys do, leading up to the competition and then after. So I'd like to ask Natalie first. You won in 2005, which I was completely shocked about because you look amazing.
Yes.
And I was like, 2005? Are you serious?
Yeah.
When I saw you at the extravaganza yesterday, I was like, no, it can't be. That has to be like a typo or something. Maybe it was
17
like
years ago.
2015 or
Yeah.
14, guys. Let's check it.
so sweet.
How do you maintain your face, your figure for so many years?
A very popular question. I get asked that a lot. I think as all of us beauty queens, we always get asked the beauty secrets, right? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to know. And I really wish I had something to share that was very secret and very profound that would change everyone's life. I don't. The only thing that I can say is just physical wellness, mental wellness, and energetical wellness. You know, it's a holistic wellness, right?
Holistic
Taking
wellness.
care of the body, obviously, right? I don't go to the gym, I don't run.
Really?
But I'm very religious about my yoga.
Yoga.
So
Okay, that's
whatever
your
it
form of
is,
exercise.
I always say to people, pick something. It doesn't have to be, you know, treadmill or CrossFit or you know,
Weights.
weight, or even if you don't like yoga, that's
marathon.
fine too. It doesn't really matter as long as you're doing something physical
yeah.
on a consistent daily basis. And then the mental wellness, of course, comes from keeping your boundaries, right? Learning how to say no to things that don't fall in line with your priorities, with your values. That also has an effect, right? Because when we're stressed out by
Yes.
doing too many things for too many people and forgetting ourselves, of course, we're not going to look
Yes.
healthy, we're not going to look vibrant. So that is part of that emotional, mental self-love. And then the energetic part is, of course, that connection to your inner self, meditation, and sometimes just being alone, sometimes journaling, or there's so many paths, right?
Mental health
Yeah.
is
Mental
actually,
health-
it shows in our body.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It does.
Right?
And you know about, because of your face and your figure and your elegance yesterday, many Thai fans said that if you get in the competition again, you're gonna get a crown again. Of course.
Is that possible? Can you win 2 crowns? No.
I don't think
Okay, it's
so.
only
Not that I
one.
know
You
of.
have to
One
ask
time,
an
big
Anne.
time. Okay.
You have to ask an Anne.
What about diet? Do you,
Again, there isn't one solution for everybody, and I think everyone needs to pick what works for them. I've tried it all. I've tried being
IF?
vegan.
IF?
What's that?
Intermittent
fasting. I've tried it, ended up in the hospital. No,
Oh,
that
really?
didn't work for me.
Pass on that.
Pass. I've tried kind of the keto diet. I've tried
really?
the vegan diet. And I've landed somewhere in between, which is a nice little balance. I call it kind of the Mediterranean diet, where you still have a lot of fruits and vegetables,
Yes.
but not so much red meat. So this is where I'm
Eggs,
at right
chicken.
now. That's it. Yeah.
Not so much red meat.
Kat, how about you? What's your routine? What's your health and wellness structure, I'll say?
Well, I'm laughing because I don't really feel like I have structure.
So you enjoy everything?
I do. Well, the thing is as well, I've already learned after being under the pressures of being a young woman in this industry that there is always going to be a trend or a fad or a diet or a size or a body shape that you're told this is beautiful. This is what you need to look like to be beautiful, to be accepted by society. And I don't feel that it serves you. It makes you feel like you're in a rat race.
Yes.
What you need to do, and it's really what Natalie was just saying, you just need to learn about your body because everyone is unique. Everyone has completely different body types, body makeups, body systems, different environments that they live in, different what their lives look like, their workloads, what they have access to. Sometimes healthcare can be a privilege. Sometimes eating an organic diet can be a privilege. So whatever is doable for you, whatever makes you happy, as long as you're taking that time, that awareness, and trying to educate yourself also about what are the better, more informed decisions you can make for yourself and your family. I mean, that's what I do.
That's
and
great.
and I find a lot of joy in moving every day.
Balance?
Yeah, finding a
Balanced
balance, enjoying the environment around me. I love going hiking and going to the beach, surrounding myself with nature, but that's because that's what I like. That is what I feel recharges me. When it comes to food, I love all types of food.
All types. So no food restrictions.
No, but I'm not saying that to glorify that, but it's just that that's my personal choice, and I enjoy sharing food with people I love.
And you, of course, love rice.
I
'Cause
love
you're Filipino.
rice.
So you love
Filipinos love rice.
yeah.
So I'm sure that after you two got the crown, on that year, your life has changed, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think many people put a lot of expectation on you.
Pressure.
Which on one side is a great support, but on the other side, it might be a great
Toxic.
pressure.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Natalie?
Dealing with pressure, I feel that the pressure is really something that you put on yourself because you allow that pressure to be put on you, right? No one really is putting pressure on you. Because if
Indeed.
somebody comes and tells you you should be this and this and this, and we expect this and this and this, it's really not until you decide what you want to set your limits and what you want to set your expectations on. And so you need to, again, ask yourself, what are my priorities? What are my values? What am I really doing this for? And if it falls in line with those priorities and values, then it makes sense for you. Then you're living a healthy and happy life. And I actually stopped setting goals for myself recently. And I realized that setting goals sometimes creates this unrealistic expectations for ourselves.
Yes.
Yes.
And instead of that, why not just write out your priorities and ask yourself, what am I doing now? Is that in line with my priorities? Or on a daily basis, have I done everything that is most important to me? And if you can do that, it just becomes so much easier to breathe and to let yourself live in a happy and balanced state.
Wow.
They're simple things to do, but they have such an impact on our lives, right?
Absolutely.
Positive affirmations, writing things down, goals.
Yeah, I would say once every 6 months, I sit down with my journal and I go over all of my typical exercises, like what are my priorities? What are my values in life right now? What are the things that have been my accomplishments over the past 6 months?
Yes.
What do I still want to, not so much achieve, but what do I want to experience in this life? And just kind of like writing down my affirmations for the next best version of Natalie, because there's always that next best version.
Got to keep
It's
growing.
a continuous process. And every 6 months I level up.
I have never done that.
You should.
You're gonna do it right after this interview, okay?
After this,
We're gonna work on your affirmation.
That's what I teach in my master classes. So I'll send you my setting the priorities worksheet.
Okay, you have a new client.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Kat,
forget.
now you live in the Philippines, and guys, the Philippines goes nuts for pageants. And when I think of pageants in the Philippines, I think of Pia Wurtzbach and I think of Catriona Gray. These fans put extreme pressure on the winners of Miss Universe from Philippines and also globally. So how do you handle all of that?
That's quite difficult to handle, if I'm completely honest, especially at such a young age. Now, even more so, social media has really allowed fans to access the girls even more so than, say, back in Natalie's time, or maybe 10 years, even 7 years ago, I would think. It's a huge difference.
Yes.
It was definitely a learning process for me, if I'm completely honest, because it's easy for people to say, and for you to say to yourself, have a thick skin. You know, what they say doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But at a point, comments do hurt, because
That's right.
it's hard. It's hard to hear those things about yourself from a complete stranger or maybe even your fellow countrymen, especially when you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position, going after a dream, wanting to represent these very people.
Yes.
Of course.
That can be quite a conflicting place to be, and a very vulnerable place to be, because you're sharing your heart with them.
Yes.
And saying, I'm doing this in a way also for you to elevate our country. But I've also learned that that is just the nature of life. Sometimes there'll be ups, sometimes there'll be downs.
Yes,
It's just like
that's right.
art. Sometimes it'll be their favorite piece of art. Sometimes people will hate it, like with music. Sometimes it's people's taste, sometimes it's not. And it's just with us as public figures. Sometimes people will adore us, and
Yes.
other times they won't. And that's just the fluid nature of things. So you really have to find in yourself
Yes.
that self-worth. Because if you
Self-worth.
don't have that and you put your worth in what all these followers think, or what your countrymen think, or your friends, or whoever they are, if they take that away from you, you're left like feeling low, feeling discouraged,
Yes.
feeling, where is my worth? But if you find that in yourself, you have that security that no one can take that away from you.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a journey. It's not a destination
Yes.
that you can arrive at and never have to work at again. Trust me, it's something I'm still working on.
Ups and downs.
Because it's such a high pressure situation to be in. And I don't even think it's reserved for us public figures anymore. I mean, everyone in the public eye, or even on social media,
Yeah.
you have an audience
Yes.
now.
Right. And they're free to
cancel
speak.
culture is
Open.
Huge.
But you're expected to speak. You know, you're expected to have an opinion, but not too polarizing an opinion. So as long as you are true to yourself, going back to that, it's very beauty queenish sounding. Stay true to yourself. But it's true. I mean, at the end of
true.
the day, it's your life. You need to take ownership
Yes.
Yeah.
of everything that you do, because yeah, it's your life, so live it.
The saying always goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I don't think it's actually true. Words will hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as we try to ignore those comments or what people say, we see them, right? And it affects us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, self-worth is what keeps us grounded, and having those, those people in our lives that understand us and know who we really are.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with the right people is such a powerful tool also.
Yeah.
And such a safe space that you
Yes.
give yourself.
And the next question, I'm not sure it's easy or difficult. Apart from yourself, who is your favorite Miss Universe? Natalie.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah, this is always a very interesting question, because obviously, how can you choose? How
Yeah.
can you possibly
True.
choose amongst all of these incredible women who deserve their crowns and deserve these titles? But I was just having a conversation with Kat earlier, and we're both saying before we competed,
Yeah.
who were we looking up to? And of course, there were these women who inspired us to take the leap into this
panel,
process, into
yes.
this journey. And for me, it must have been the first woman that I watched winning, and she was the first woman from Russia to win the Miss Universe pageant, Oksana Fedorova. And I think at that time, the reason why I found her so inspirational, because I was a Russian immigrant from Russia to Canada, and I think I had a little bit of a complex around being a Russian immigrant in Canada. And I had this inferiority complex where I felt I was not as good as the Canadian-born
Yes.
people. And seeing her win and achieve such an incredible, beautiful thing gave me so much inspiration and really kind of possibility to know that, oh, here's a fellow woman from Russia who's doing these incredible things.
Yes.
Perhaps there is a chance for me after all.
Yes.
That's the
And I love
beginning.
the fact
Love that.
that I was once inspired by Oksana. I, in turn, then inspired somebody else to go into
Yes,
pageants.
of
And now
course.
those women are inspiring other people. So it's the circle of life, that
Yes.
That's right.
continuous passing on the legacy, passing on the torch. That's what I find so beautiful in Miss Universe.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that. How about you, Kat? Who's your fave?
Ooh, yeah. Well, before I had competed as well, someone I super looked up to was Lara Dutta from India.
Okay.
And the reason was every time she spoke, she had this magnetism about her. Like you couldn't help but stop and lean in. And I've always admired that quality in a public speaker. It's that quality that when they open their mouth, when they share their thoughts, you just lean in.
Everybody starts listening.
Yeah. So I've always looked up to her. I haven't met her yet, but
Okay.
hopefully one day.
Well, actually, you have a similar trait. When you speak, people listen.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I can see why.
Yes. Okay, so last but not least, as we run out of time, so could you please talk to your Thai fans who always love and support both of you?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Natalie first.
Okay, I guess we're taking turns. That's,
Oh, ping pong.
yeah, okay. Here we are, Thai fans and people of Thailand. Just wanted to express my sincerest gratitude and appreciation for all of you for welcoming me to your country. And even though it's been so long, I still remember my first day when I arrived to your country. The sights, the smells, the tastes, everything of Thailand has stuck in my memory as magic, as a fairy tale. And I'm continuing to live this fairy tale every day here in this magnificent country, now living in Phuket and enjoying the gorgeous nature, the beaches, and continuing to enjoy the food and learning to speak the language a little bit as well. Natalieพูดภาษาไทยได้นิดหน่อยนะคะ
So cute.
Yeah,
Okay,
so thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay,
Kat.
and for Kat?
For me, to all of the Thai fans and supporters, thank you so much for making me feel like not a day has gone by since I was crowned here in your beautiful country. I feel like every time I come back to Thailand, and even if I'm not here, I feel your presence online through all of your sweet messages. Thank you for always making me feel so celebrated. Your kindness and your love is never overlooked. Kapong ka.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I love
So, thank you very much for both of you for being here.
Thank you.
And it's very honored, and we feel very honored to have
Yes,
the
ladies,
conversation
thank you
with
very much for
both of
joining
you.
us.
Yes.
And JKN and all of us are really happy to have you here in Thailand. And we hope you guys can come back.
Yeah.
Yes, for
and
sure.
for Kat, I hope you enjoy your rest of your time in Thailand and fly back home safely.
Thank
And for
you.
Natalie, I hope you enjoy being here, being Thai people, and surrounded with all your loving fans.
Yes,
Thank you very much
thank
for
you.
today. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And
Kapong ka.
also, thank you, Mr. Nico, for joining us today.
Thank you, Ploy. The pleasure was all mine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.